Christmas. The idea was to have a Christmas number one, but good old Cliff,
Oh,
came along.
he got in there.
No, I mean that with love.
We love Cliff. We love you.
Cliff.
Yes.
I can see.
How are you?
I'm
Jason?
good. I'm good. Very nice to be here and see you. And
So lovely to see you.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Yeah.
I feel well, and I feel relatively fit and cautiously optimistic about the next sort of few years.
Yeah, I
mean,
bet you are.
cautiously.
I mean, we'll talk about everything and your tour in a minute. I mean, you are the busiest man I know. On Instagram, obviously, we occasionally send you messages.
Yeah.
How on earth do you do it all? Because you're back and forth to Australia.
Yeah.
You're all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean, do you ever tire or not really?
I work hard. I mean, I like to enjoy the good things in life, and they don't
pay the school
come
fees.
and pay the school fees. They don't come cheap. But also, I think I'm 55. Wow.
Young.
I like to keep fit.
Yeah.
I'm into my ice baths at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
one of
doing 3
those.
minutes at about seven degrees at the moment. So,
I've not done-
so that's quite scary. But I refuse to put my head under because the chlorine I have in there will ruin my hair. That's how vain I am.
That's brilliant.
But at least I go up to sort
Do
of my neck.
But you feel that keeps you evergreen.
Keeps me. There's a real buzz about cold water. I don't know why. I mean, I just feel good.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm not. I mean, I'm not a massive drinker, but I'm certainly not over drinking. So and it's the festive season. I mean, I like to keep busy, and I guess you get to a certain age and you think, well, I'm going to go for it because you just don't know what's...
Life's too short.
Life's too short.
It is, isn't it?
And also I don't need to prove myself to anybody.
No.
So my body of work sort of speaks for itself and I'm sort of happy in my skin.
Yeah.
So bring it on.
And you've just announced that you're going to be doing this tour.
Yes.
Doing Fine.
Fine. 2025.
Which is ironic.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us more about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, we were just, I'd like to do live work. I mean, and funnily enough, we're living in a world where live is everything, probably because, we can get everything at home, post-pandemic. We've all discovered that actually we're tribal people and we love to be with people. So I've always been, invested in, my theatre work over the last sort of 20 or 30 years. And I think the last tour I did was pre-pandemic, so it was about 2018. So when you do 2025, it actually is quite a distance between the two. And we just came up with this sort of title that when I did a tour in 1990, it was called Doing Fine, and I just sort of thought nice to celebrate 35 years. Fantastic. And optimism, and I don't know what it's going to be yet. Haven't worked that one out. But everyone says to me 2025, it's only 2023 at the moment. I said, well, in about a few weeks' time, it's going to be 2024. And then it'll be a year, and then, so
Absolutely.
time does go pretty quick.
So, you're going to be here. The tour kicks off in February 2025. But you're in Australia next year.
I am. I'm doing Rocky Horror in Melbourne and Sydney and Newcastle, So,
Brilliant.
So I like to... I think it's lovely to be in this country up until Christmas. And then afterwards,
what's
January,
wrong with
February,
the weather
March.
Here? There's nothing wrong with the weather, is there?
I'm very happy that I'll be on that QF1 straight out of here, early Jan.
It'd be a dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is, and. I mean, Australia is such a great country. I haven't spent a lot of time there recently. I mean, I think, again, going back to that whole pandemic thing, it was a bit of they took a pretty hard line, the Aussies. And so I didn't get to go back there.
Oh, really?
But it's such a great country.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've never been. Isn't that awful?
Kirsty, what are you
I know,
doing,
I think
man?
I told you
Come
that
on,
before.
let's
You're
go.
like, what?
Show you around.
Let's get Christmas out of the way and we're going.
Take you for a swim down
Yeah,
in
amazing.
Bondi Dubai or, Palm Beach or
bliss.
Melbourne coffee's always good or...
I've heard, I just haven't got there.
Right.
I don't know what's wrong with me,
It's
but
a big
I will.
investment in time.
Yeah,
it's 24 hours a day to get there. But
So that's
when
all right.
you open that door, it's, that cabin pressure just releases and off you go.
How incredible. So back to the tour, though.
Yes.
The songs that you'll be performing, I mean, have you got lots of favourites in there? What can we sort of expect?
It's always greatest hits, you know.
Yeah.
And I like to think that maybe this time I sort of, obviously will include some my more theatre-based stuff, but a lot of songs that I haven't played for a while. But I'd be lying to say that I've really nailed all that down. But I tend to bring a lot of my personality to shows, and my fans have sort of been extremely loyal. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of familiar faces, it's just nice to be working for yourself.
Yeah. No,
also, there's a bit of pressure in that as well, but it's quite nice to be telling your own story.
It must be quite. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of prep for you, a lot of preparation.
You've
got,
actually.
your team. Do you enjoy that creative side?
Yeah,
I do. You right now have a vision of what you want, or is it an organic kind of?
It's sort of it just evolves.
Yeah.
I'm an anecdotal sort of person. I write a lot of stuff down on phones and when I think of lines. And my youngest daughter, a few years back, I did a talking tour in conversation with, and she came along one night and I said, do you want to, come and watch Dad on the side of the stage? And she just turned around to me and said, Dad, I'm not a fan.
No.
So I think she would have been 10 at the time.
Oh, no.
So I used that one multiple times
Great.
In my set. So there's things like that, You try and bring a bit of your character.
Bit of humour.
But this is a music tour, so we're sticking pretty much on track with that.
Listen, let's talk about your memories of returning to Neighbours at the end last year. I mean, what was that like? And back with Kylie.
Yes.
Returning to Ramsay Street.
Well, I think it sort of meant a lot more to the audience probably, and I'm not trying to play it, but it was half a day, and it was a wonderful moment to celebrate 36 years of that show, but a lot has passed, and I'm certainly not, nor is Kylie certainly not
hanging on to it.
No, but we both recognise the value of it, and I think an email exchange went around, and we sort of thought, if ever there was a time to pay respect to that time, and what Neighbours did for not just Australian television, but Australia as a whole, because probably up until Neighbours, not you, but I'm talking about the world thought of Australia as these sort of Crocodile Dundee type of characters. And what Neighbours did was brought suburban life to the rest of the world. So, and it changed my life, and it changed Kylie's, and it changed Guy's, and it changed Margot Robbie's, and it changed a number of people. So I think once a few of us got on board, then the whole ball started rolling.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't anticipate such a quick reboot. Didn't anticipate Amazon's coming from behind. And, but
it was so popular. I mean, I was a Neighbour.
Were you?
Back in the day, you were either Home and Away or Neighbours, and I was so Neighbours.
So why is Home and Away still going? This is a question.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a golden deal with Channel 5 that we don't know about.
Who knows?
That's exactly what's
We need to
happening.
look into this. And I mean, it's 35 years since, especially for you, with Kylie. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. It's 35 years.
I just, honestly, that's really, I mean, just tell us
special.
The memories of that song and filming the video with Kylie, which we all remember. Yeah,
it was 24 hours, and it was done in Sydney, and I'd released a song. Kylie was well and truly on her first album, was a big success in 1988. I was trying to grab a little piece of that. Not really, but, sort of. And, the demand for our moment together was so huge that Pete Waterman said, look, this has got to happen. Right. I think they resisted initially. But, if you think about what happened then was, you have two characters on a television show with an audience of 24 million people, and you have the greatest producers of their time, English producers, making records that suited the audience that they were, the Neighbours audience. So it was the perfect storm. And I think it was released before Christmas. The idea was to have a Christmas number one. Yeah. But good old Cliff,
came
along.
He got in there.
No, I mean that with love. We love
Cliff. We love you.
Cliff.
Yes.
I can see. Cliff came along with mistletoe and wine.
Yes, this is it.
Geez, who would have thought that one?
Yeah.
But the good news that even Cliff would probably know is that because it wasn't a Christmas single, we were pipped to the post on the Christmas number one, but the next week we went back to number one and stayed there for about 3 or 4 weeks after. Yeah. Cliff had, his use-by date was on Boxing Day. You know what I mean? His mistletoe had disappeared and gone into the recycle bin, but we were still flourishing.
With the decorations.
Yeah. So, great, great moment. And listen, you're in life, if you get one of those, you're lucky.
Absolutely.
So, and I had a few.
What we really want is we want to see Kylie come back on stage with you for your tour. Would that possibly? Could you work that?
I mean, I wouldn't hold your hopes up, Kirsty.
Come on,
but
Kylie was here at Smooth recently. Really? She was so lovely.
Was she?
Yeah. Fantastic. So don't worry, we're friends with Kylie.
Well, she we did do something very spontaneously for another radio station a few years back. But look, you never know. I always, expect the unexpected.
Good.
Is what I've learnt in life. Expect the unexpected. Yeah. So you never know.
Fantastic.
Never know.
So doing fine. 2025, your UK tour. We cannot wait. And thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
absolutely
awesome.
Amazing on Smooth.
Lovely to see you, Kirsty.
Lovely to see you too.
You too. Looking well.
Hello.
Thank you.
It's been great. Thank you.